Let's begin today, and again, we'll kind of allow Maureen's spirit to be with us. Every month, whenever I begin the teaching, I usually begin our teaching by simply saying how wonderful it is to share these universal spiritual principles with people. And it's very, very important to know those principles, but it's especially important to share not just those universal principles, but to share these principles with a group of people such as you, who really are living by these principles by which we take our identity. They have become, in a sense, our sense of self, and they are the way that we strive to live day in and day out. There's nothing nicer than being with a group of people who not only know spiritual principles, but who are really just dedicated to live this way. We know that we're simply part of a larger group, not only within Now Creations, but larger groups throughout the world who are just living in a new way. So this month's teaching is entitled, No Longer About Me. Just an interesting little teaching that's going to focus on spiritual principles, and hopefully in this teaching I'll be able to both summarize and futurize our shared pathway forward. I'm going to be able to hopefully give you 5 steps in this process, and then 2 final little comments. But more than anything else, what I'd like to share with you is this is my vision. This is how I see us, where we've been, where we are, and how we're going forward. So I'm very happy to share these ideas with you. Hopefully they might be moving to you as they are to me. Let's begin with step 1. I think when most of us begin our spiritual journey, and even though it seems like I'm talking to you, I just want you to know I'm talking to myself. Just want you to know that. When we began our spiritual journey, it was primarily about, I think, for most of us, what I call the little me, the worldly human personality that we have a personal name for. It was all about Vince, or all about Tish, all about Patty and Patty, all about, in a sense, that little me. Initially, we were drawn to simply live in a better way. I think all of us just wanted to get our lives together, to be able to root out the things that no longer made sense to us, that caused us difficulty, and hopefully to find a better way of living, a way that was much more fulfilling for us. And it was exciting. It was exciting to improve, especially in those first couple of years. It was just really nice to have better decision making. It was nice to have better relationships. It was nice to worry less, to feel calmer. And life just was better because we were better. We were making progress along the way. Now, as this progress was being made, I think by all of us, an observation, neither good nor bad, occurred, at least to me, about your growth and my growth. The observation was this: it was all about me. It was all about the little me, how I had progressed, how Vince was benefiting, how Jim felt better, how Betsy was calmer. Oh, we were all kind and nice to each other in the certain situations of life where we had to be, but for the most part, my life was still about me and mine. And I noticed just as clearly that many other people seemed to be about their little me just as well. Their lives, just like mine, was about them and the things that were important to them. They too, in a sense, were kind and nice when appropriate, but ultimately, we all went our separate individual ways. Step 2. Then I noticed something else. Not necessarily good or bad, but simply an observation. The observation was this: that all of us, concerned about the little me, had created a field of energy that was highly individualistic and very, very autonomous. We had created a field of energy of separated me's. Nice me's, kind me's, but very clearly separated, individual, autonomous me's. Step 3. Something else became noticeable. Again, not necessarily good or bad, but just an observation, something that I noticed. Even when I consciously did something good for others, it still seemed to be about me. It was still about me. It was still about how I could help the less fortunate. It was still about how I could give back to society. It was still about kind of like, well, how each of us had made it, and we had risen above others. And sometimes I even noticed, maybe you did too, that in my doing of good, the praise and the recognition I got was pretty enjoyed by the little me. I might have said that I did it for the good of others, but it sure felt good to me when I got recognized. And I noticed that others seemed to be in the same way. Their goodness was still in a sense about them, about their little me. And even when we did kind things together, it still seemed to be about the little me's that were now comprising the little us. Step 4. Then a big step occurred. As I continued on my path, and I'm sure you as well, a change in me occurred. Because probably like you, I went inward, and I came to recognize a larger me within. My little me was becoming a bigger me. We all became, in a sense, I think, fascinated about this bigger me. Oh my, we were so more insightful. We were so more confident, creative, and loving. This bigger me was so much better than the little older me. I especially love the fact that the bigger me loved all of my little me's. Kind of like Barbara Marx Hubbard talked about in the book Emergence, when the bigger me, the essential self, took all of the little me's, got them together, and repatterned them. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing to see this larger, bigger me taking care of my little separated me's. This was exciting. I was growing. Step 5. But it was still about me. A bigger me, but still about me, until I noticed 3 things. The first thing was that the other little me's were also growing into larger me's, but they were still somewhat separated too, still very individualistic. And sometimes even these bigger, more insightful me's were still critical and judgmental about other bigger me's and about a lot of little me's. But slowly and surely, 2 other things then began to happen. Again, slowly but surely, I noticed the first big change. I'm not sure when it happened. I just want to tell you, I'm not sure how it happened. I just noted that it happened. It happened again slowly but surely. I noticed something about myself, and especially I noticed something about other me's. Our bigger me wasn't just concerned with its little me, but it became very much concerned about the little me of others. It became concerned about even the bigger me's of others. We became much more honoring to people. We seemed to assist them. We seemed to feel closer to them. And sharing with them just seemed to be a little closer. Perhaps this unity, this sense of oneness, came through recognizing everyone as a child of God. Perhaps maybe that was the way we got over that bigger me into a bigger us. Or perhaps maybe it was just something you felt inside of you, that you were just part of something bigger, that everyone in a sense was a part of you. What became very, very interesting, however, was a crystal clear change. Our little me had grown into a group of bigger, connected, bigger me's. Our little me's had grown into a group of bigger, connected bigger me's. However, it was the third step that caught us all by surprise. At least it caught me by surprise. We had not imagined that this could happen. I don't think we did. At least I didn't. In fact, it would not have happened until the little me's began to bond together as a group of bigger me's. This is what happened to many of us. And I think this is what many of us are presently experiencing. Again, to our amazement, our surprise, and surely to our delight. And this is it. As our separated little me's bonded together to become a unity of bigger me's, the unified bigger me's created an even larger me, a larger energy that encompassed all of the bigger me's. Let's say it again. As our little me's bonded together to become a unity of bigger me's, our unified bigger me's created a larger energy that encompassed all of the bigger me's and all of the other little me's. No longer did the bigger me feel separate. There was now a unity of bigger me's. There was a unity of souls. No longer individual bigger me's, but communal bigger me's. No longer autonomous bigger me's, but unified bigger me's. A oneness becoming a unified field that has taken the place of the separation fields of little me's. Let's say that again. A oneness that has become a unified field of bigger me's that has taken the place of the separation field of little individual me's. This larger than any of us energy is, I think, the reality that we are creating. This is our direction forward. This, I believe, we can call heaven on earth. It is no longer merely a hoped-for concept, but for those of us who have expanded, it is a clearly discernible and deeply experiential energy that is a living joy. That is a living joy that we have never experienced before. And it is more than just the little me. It is more than just the separated bigger me. It's more than either of those. It has become the larger us. It's become the larger us. This larger us, the field that we have created by bonding together our bigger me's, this field is stronger than any challenge. It's inclusive, without judgment. It is not just a summary of our past, but as we would see it, it is the pathway forward. It is the reality of our life as we go forward in this larger, enhanced energy. It's the way we're going forward, bonded together from our bigger me into the larger encompassing energy that is our creation here on the planet. Two last comments. The first, this larger than us never exhausts itself. It is always a continuing creative energy. This energy, always fresh and always new, is always giving us the next greatest possibility. It's never as good as it gets. It's always good, but the next is even more. There is always more. Just when you think this is it, you just realize that something else is itter, waiting for the next itter. And secondly, not only has your life surely improved, but would you not say in a sense that the level at which you are is now just another taking off place? You're not at your peak. You're just at the point of going higher, because the energy within you is like that. Your bigger energy just keeps on wanting to make you bigger. And you have the enhanced enjoyment of being in a larger field that is pushing you along the way, because you have united with other bigger me's who understand it. It's no longer about little me. In conclusion, I have only a one-line summary. It is no longer about me, but about us as it. I'll say it again, one line. It is no longer about me, but about us as it. Let's take this into meditation. I welcome you into our meditation today, and just ask that you begin by dedicating yourself to this time. A few minutes, but precious moments. Fully commit yourself for the growth of your soul. Let us now begin by simply settling ourselves. Again, doing whatever you normally do, just to relax your body, kind of clear out the mind, and bring your soul to the fore. Please do this now. Move now into your God Spirit presence, your I Am presence, just that place within you that is you, that place within you that you know yourself to be in your fullest sense of self. Feel the beautiful energy that you are, that you call I. Our meditation will have 3 steps today. The first one, May the phrase, "It's no longer about me," be received by you in a way that is meaningful to you. Only you will know where that applies to your life. Perhaps a habit from your past, maybe a temporary challenge or situation. But would you just allow the phrase, "It's no longer about the little me," to speak to you? Let it guide you. Let us proceed. Getting over the little me and growing spiritually has prompted me to join together to bond with other bigger me's. This has not been an easy process, because right in the middle of the process are individual personalities, the personalities of other bigger me's, and my own personal personality. But I've progressed. I've been able to look beyond judgments and criticisms and immediate reactions to see deeper within myself, within others. I know that I'm bonded together by the Holy Spirit of life, and I come to honor others. I try to be supportive. I listen, help when I can, and I realize that it's very important not to break my energetic bond with others. For when I do so, I go into that separated energy field. Part of my growth has been to bond with other bigger me's, creating a larger energy field. Let us now proceed to the third step, the most important, and to which we'll give the most time. For years, it seemed to be about me. And then it seemed to be about the bigger me. But finally I came to see that it was about the bonded, unified, bigger me's to create a field, to create an energy, a venue in which each one of us prospers joyfully, happily, and invites all others to do the same. It's not about me, and probably really not about us, but about it. And we are it. would you come to realize that the most joyful, unified thing we can do is to create the energy field in which each of us and all of us can joyfully create. Return now to the rhythm of your breathing. And would you make yourself a promise right now, just right now, would you just promise yourself that you will accept the wonderful love that you are. And just when you're ready now, bring your attention back into the room, into your body persona. Just opening your eyes and allowing the beauty of your soul to shine through. Namaste.